doing own voice over soft music. Vine was sleeping peacefully until she heard some noises, so she opened her eyes just to see her sister using her makeup. Unni, are you going out? She asked her sister while sitting straight, and her sister faced her. No, baby, I'm going to company, she said, and again started doing her makeup. But Vine's eyes caught that Kia is not in her office attire, rather in a good outfit, as if she is being dressed up to impress someone. Unni, she was about to ask her why she is in this outfit, but Kia cut her off. All done, baby. How I am looking. She faced Wine and Wine looked at Kia from head to toe. And you are looking so pretty. She complimented her as indeed she was looking eternal. Kia blushed. Thanks, baby. And now I will go. Today I have an important meeting. Bye, baby. Bye, Unni. Kia gave a one last smile to Wine and then took her purse and ran out of the room. Come on, Wine, let's get ready for another boring college day, she said to herself while stretching her arms and legs and then lazily got out of her bed to start her day. Wine was all ready for her college and lastly she took her backpack and was about to take her phone, but instead her phone rang and a wide smile appeared on her lips because she knew who it is. So without even checking the caller ID she picked up the call. Good morning. Morning, baby. So, all ready for college? Yes, and I was about to leave. Okay, then come to our usual spot. I'm waiting for you. Coming, saying this, both cut the call and Wine happily walked out of the room in excitement to see her. After Wine cut the call, Jungkook's phone rang again and he looked to see it's his secretary, so he picked up the call. What? She already reached the company. Wasn't the meeting at 10:30? Now it's just 9:45. Tell her to wait. Okay, saying this he cut the call and at the same time he saw Wine walking towards his car and unknowingly a wide smile appeared on his lips while saying Wine. Wine opened the door and get in the car and then she faced Jungkook just to see he is lost in her, making Wine shrimp, seeing him admiring her. Wine shrimp, I know I am beautiful, and she proudly said, making Jungkook to come to reality, but her shrimp vanished away when Jungkook shrimp, oh, I'm glad that my baby knows that she is and beautiful. He pulled Wine to his, making Wine gasp as it was unexpected. We are at the roadside, she reminded him, but instead Jungkook's eyes fall on Wine's lips, which he badly wanted to from the first time they meet. You know what? You are making me lose my control over myself, he said to Wine while his eyes still fixed on her lips as he was cherishing her lips with his thumb, making Wine also for him. And at the same time, she felt then lose your control, she too said while her eyes fall on his lips and she leaned forward to him. But Jungkook realized where things are going, so baby, you are getting late and I too have a meeting. My business partner is waiting for me, he said, making Wine sad as she thought that they might have their first. But no, he spoiled everything. Okay, she said and got up from his and made herself comfortable on the seat and folded her hands over her and looked outside the window with a small pout. Meanwhile, Jungkook understood that Wine got disappointed as she too wanted to him. So, baby, Wine looked at him and cutted him off. Aren't you getting late? Isn't your business partner waiting for you? She said in a sarcastic tone and she again turned her head towards the window, making Jungkook sign. But then Wine got startled when she felt his presence close to her. So she turned her head just to see Jungkook's face so close to her and she got lost in his eyes. Meanwhile, Jungkook smiled a little and leaned more forward, resulting his breath hit her forehead, and she closed her eyes. But soon she opened when she heard a click sound just to see he was putting on her seat belt. Now let's go, he said, making Wine's cheek red in embarrassment. So she was about to again turn her head to other side, but Jungkook was fast to cup Wine's cheeks and placed his lips on her forehead and gave a long to her, making Wine's heart to skip a beat. And both of their body felt a shiver, and both of their eyes closed automatically, just feeling each other. Jungkook pulled back and faced Wine with a small smile, who was also having a small smile on her lips. And she opened her eyes to see Jungkook already admiring her with his loving eyes. Now you are no more mad at me, right? Wine just nodded her head as no, indicating she is no more angry on him. Jungkook smiled. Shall we go? Wine again nodded her head as yes, and thus lastly with a small peak on her forehead, Jungkook too sat straight and put on his seatbelt and drive off. Bye, baby. See you after your classes. Bye, and take care. I will. And you too take care. Vine nodded her head and was about to leave, but she immediately faced Jungkook, who was already admiring her. But then she frowned when Vine trimmed and pulled him by his collar and peeked his cheek and run out of the car, making Jungkook surprised but more above happy. Jungkook smiled. This girl, wait baby, I am going to propose you and then I will with you, my, he said to himself while his eyes fixed on Wine who was walking towards the entrance of college, and then after he drove off when Wine completely disappeared from his eyes. Where is she? He asked his secretary about his soon to be business partner with whom he is going to have a meeting. So she is waiting in the meeting room. Okay, and everything ready for the meeting? Yes, sir. Now you just have to go so that we can start the meeting. Jungkook just nodded his head and took his things needed for the meeting and walked out of the cabin, followed by Mark. Jungkook entered the meeting room to see Kia, his college mate, and more above soon to be his lovely wife's sister. So he walked to her with a small smile as Wine's image flashed in his. Good morning, Miss Kia, he said, gaining Kia's attention, and he walked towards Kia, who was sitting all nervous because she was going to meet her crush from college time. Oh, good morning. She stood up from seat and Jungkook stand in front of her. After a long time we are seeing each other. Yeah, after graduation this is the first time we are seeing. She shuddered, making Jungkook smile a little, knowing she is nervous. Nervous about the meeting, he asked her, thinking that she is getting anxious about the meeting, but little did he know that she is nervous because she is standing in front of him this much close for the first time. Kia thought, no, I am not worried about the meeting. This business collaboration is only a way to get you and make you fall in love with me. Hope though this collaboration you become mine, she internally said to herself, but then she came to reality when, don't worry, the meeting will go nicely, and if any mistake arises, we will correct it, he said, making Kia fall more in love with him with his sweet gesture. Kia blushed. Yeah, and thank you, she just said so as not to make her crush on Jungkook obvious. Let's start the meeting. Kia nodded her head and both took the seat and the meeting started. The classes were going on, but here Wine was drawing some random things in her notebook as the lecture was boring to her. But then suddenly she remembered the morning incident where Jungkook her forehead making a whole zoo of butterflies party in her stomach, and she started missing Jungkook more. I want his forehead now. What to do? She whispered to herself and started thinking what to do, and her eyes light up knowing what to do. So, excuse me, ma'am, she called her professor while raising her hand, gaining the professor's and everyone's attention. Yes, Wine, do you have any doubt? No, ma'am, actually, I have a stomach pain, so can I go to the nurse room? She asked her with her innocent puppy eyes, which always melt everyone's heart, so has professors too. Yeah, sure, go and take rest, she said, making Wine internally smile, but she put on a dull face. Thank you, ma'am. Saying this, she packed her bag and left the classroom while looking down as she was trimming. Wine slowly sneaked out of the college and ran out and took a cab. Thank God again no one caught me, she said to herself, being proud. And do she take me to John Industry? She said to the driver, and okay ma'am, the driver said, and start the engine. Wine walked through the hallway, gaining every employee's attention, and everyone smiled at her because they know her, as she always come here. And also, Jungkook has already warned everyone not to restrict Wine from doing anything and give her the equal respect as a gift to him. Wine was about to open the door of Jungkook's cabin, but she halted when someone called her. Miss Wine. Wine turned and saw one of the employees. So, hi, what happened? She asked him. Actually, Mr. John is not in his cabin. He is in the meeting room. You can go there, he said to Wine, but Wine doesn't feel like going to the meeting room as she doesn't want it to disturb his meeting. So, it's okay. I will wait for him in the cabin. As you say, Miss Wine. And do you need anything, coffee or juice? No, thank you. She smiled at him, which the employee replied back, and she walked into the cabin and the employee left to do his work. Jungkook, do you like my idea? She nervously asked Jungkook as soon as the PPT finished. Yeah, it's a good idea, he simply said, making Kia's eyes light up in hope and happiness. So that means you are willing to be my business partner, right? She asked him with so much excitement, making Jungkook chuckle. Of course I will, he said, making Kia so happy. Thank you so much, Jungkook smiled. It's okay, so let's make the contract and then sign it. Yeah, okay, I will go to my company and then make a contract and I will bring it to you, she said to Jungkook. Yeah, okay, till that time I will also ask Mark to make the contract and you don't have to come here to give the paper. Just mail it, I will take a print, he suggested, but Kia wasn't happy with it. So, no, it's okay, I will bring it to you, she said, so that she can again get a chance to meet Jungkook. Okay, as you say, so let's end the meeting. Kia nodded her head and both stood up from seat. Hope this project becomes a success, he said while forwarding his hand for a handshake as a sign of starting the new business project. But Kia's cheek turned red and she held his hand, making her so happy that she touched him for the first time. Kia thought, I think it's a positive response. Seems like I will get him by the end of this project. She internally thought while her eyes were admiring the intertwined hand. But then she came to reality when Jungkook slowly pulled back his hand from Kia's hand as she wasn't willing to leave it. Yeah, hope it will be successful, she said, and Jungkook just smiled a little. Kia left to her company and Jungkook was walking towards his cabin while he was ordering Mark. Mark, get me a coffee and after that start writing the contract for this business collaboration with Kia. Yes, sir. Saying this, both part away. Jungkook entered his cabin and his eyes wide open in surprise after he saw his love sitting on his chair and using his laptop, making Jungkook's all tiredness flew away and his body calmed down. Baby, what are you doing here? He asked, gaining Vine's attention, and a wide smile appeared on Vine's lip after seeing him. I missed you a lot. Saying this, she got up from the chair and walked towards Jungkook with a cute put. Oh, my baby missed me. He asked Vine while holding her by her either side of and pulled her closer to him. She just him while slightly nodding her head. I too missed you. Saying this, he picked up Wine in bridal style and walked towards the chair and sat on the chair with Wine in his. How was your meeting? Of course, it was good. After all, the meeting was with your sister. Wine surprised with Unni. She asked him in confusion. You don't know? No, Unni just said that she has a meeting. Oh, it was with me. She came with an idea for collaborating with my company. Indeed, your sister is very talented, he said, but the words made Vine a little insecure about herself, but then all her insecurity when she felt his lips on her forehead. Where are you lost? He asked her after giving her. Nothing. She gave a small smile to him, and at the same time his office door knocked. Come in. The door opened and Mark came with coffee. So your coffee. He placed it in front of him. And Miss Vine, do you need anything? He asked her, who was still on Jungkook's. No, I'm fine. Mark nodded his head and then, so you got a meeting in next 20 minutes. Jungkook son, cancel my today's every meeting and arrange it on some other day. And for today, just give me the pending paperwork. He said as he doesn't want to leave Vine alone in his office. Okay, sir. Saying this, he left the cabin. It was afternoon and Vine was still sitting on Jungkook's and was using his phone because she can't use her phone. What if her dad or mom saw her online? Meanwhile, Jungkook was working on his laptop, but soon his phone rang. Baby, if it's food delivery, then ask him to give it in the reception, he said while his eyes were still fixed on laptop. But no, it's Miss Lee Kia, she said, and Jungkook immediately stopped working. It might be related to work, baby. Give me the phone. Ryan gave him the phone and he took the call. Jungkook call. Yes, Kia. What you here with the contract paper? Kia, I'm busy right now, so please give it to my secretary. While Jungkook was busy talking, Ryan noticed how he is looking with rolled up sleeves. First two button open, so she started rolling over him, and soon her eyes fall on his exposed neck and collarbone, making her crave to mark him over there, but she controlled herself as he was on call, and soon Jungkook called. Okay then, saying this, he cut the call and faced Wine just to see her drooling over him. Jungkook shrimp, baby, I know I am handsome, he said, making Wine shrimp back too. Yes, you are, but you will look more handsome with my mark on your neck. Jungkook frowned as what Wine mean, but soon his eyes closed tight in when Wine hid her face in his neck and started giving him, making him throw his head back, making Vine proud of herself, and she pulled back to see the art she created. Wow, indeed you look more handsome and breathtaking with my mark on you. Let me mark you more. Saying this, she again started his neck to his collarbone creating. Meanwhile, Jungkook just held Vine's tightly. Kia got sad as she wanted to see Jungkook. That's why she prepared the contract papers as quick as possible so that she can again come back to his company, but her plan failed. I just wanted to have a peek of him, she said to herself while walking through the hallway to Mark's cabin, but then her eyes fall on Jungkook's cabin door and it will be okay if I peek into the room and had a glance of him, right? Kia happily decided to peek into the room, so she walked towards Jungkook's room and slowly opened the door just to see the heartbreaking scene for her as a girl is sitting on Jungkook's and her face is in his neck. That's why she doesn't saw the face of the girl, and to add gasoline on her burning heart, she heard, babe, control, you gave me enough. No, I want everyone to know that you are mine, baby. Everyone knows that I'm yours. Let me continue my work. And Jungkook let her do whatever she wants. Kia closed the door, not being able to hear more, and turned around to leave the place as soon as possible. But oh, ma'am, are you here for the contract papers? Mark asked her after noticing her in front of Jungkook's cabin. I will leave. She hardly gave him the contract papers and left the place, leaving Mark confused with her behavior, but he shrugged it off and went to continue his work. Wine was now his other side of neck and Jungkook was enjoying it, but soon their lovely moment paused when his office phone rang and babe, just a minute, let me attend the call and after that you can continue. Wine nodded her head and Jungkook called, yeah, okay, bring it to my cabin. He cut the call and faced Wine. It's our food, so let's have it, and after that you have to go to your home too, he said, and Wine made a little sad pose on thinking soon they have to part away, but it made Jungkook smile, and then he peeked her forehead, making Wine's sad pose turn into a small smile. Wine was about to get inside her house, but she saw her sister's car. Wine from Unni is at home earlier today. Oh, maybe because Jungkook accepted her project, so she came to inform this to Appa and Uma. She thought and walked inside the house. Wine happily walked inside her house, but she hurried when she saw her parents being a little sad and discussing something very serious. Appa, Uma, what happened? She called them, gaining their attention, and she approached them and sat next to them. Princess, how was your day? Wine smiled. Good, Appa. Baby, you go and freshen up. I will prepare snack for you. And also don't disturb your Unni for today, he said, making Wine confused. Why, Umma? Wine dad sighed. I think she lost the contract with Jungkook. She was so sad and disappointed when she came here. Of course she will be sad. After all, she was worked so hard to get such a good idea for collaboration with Jungkook. They both said, making Wine more confused. What but Jungkook? She was about to say that Jungkook accepted the proposal but then thought that it might create some other problem, so she stopped herself. Appa, I will make up her mood. Saying this, she ran to Kia's room, ignoring her mom's scream. Wine, no, she stopped when Wine's dad held her wrist. Let them talk, you know, na, they both are like good friends. So let Kia share her pain with Wine. Maybe she will feel okay after sharing it with Wine, he said, and Wine's mom agreed to him. Wine entered Kia's room and saw her hiding her face in her knees, so she locked the door and approached her and sat next to her and called her Unni. Kia looked up just for Wine's heart to ache as Kia's whole face was red, indicating she was crying. Unni, why are you crying? That's it. Kia threw herself on Wine and started crying hardly, and Wine let her cry to take her pain out. Baby, I loved him, but he loved someone else, she said, making Wine confused in her incomplete talk. Who Unni? Wine asked Kia, but what she said next made Wine's heart broke. Jungkook, I loved him from my college time, but I was scared to confess to him as every girl used to propose him and he reject them. But then now I came up with the idea of this collaboration so as to be close to him and make him fall in love with me. But today I saw him with his girlfriend. Wine was all numb. Her mind got numb. Her heart stopped beating. When did you saw him with his girlfriend? She shuddered, being nervous, not knowing why she is getting nervous. Just an hour ago when I went to give him the contract papers. Wine gulped her lumps and now she remembered that Kia called him. Unni, did you saw her face? She again asked, being nervous. No, baby, I didn't saw her face. Wine doesn't know why she felt relief after hearing that Kia didn't see the face of her. Wine took a deep breath and bit her lips, not knowing what to do as she loves Jungkook and she loves her sister too. Meanwhile, Kia just laid her head on Wine's shoulder as she felt relief after telling everything to Wine. This girl literally marked my whole neck, he said to himself after seeing himself in mirror of his office bathroom. Jungkook shrimp, but she was right though. I'm looking good with her marks on me. I know what to do now. Wait, baby, I will give you twice of this. Just wait till I propose you to be my wife and then see. He shrimped at his own thought and left the bathroom to meet Mark to say something. Kia opened her eyes. She doesn't know when she slept. All she remembers is she laid her head on Wine's shoulder after talking her heart out. Kia sat straight and looked at the front wall as if she is thinking what to do now. I should cancel the contract. Yeah, that's good for me. And I should move on from him. She decided to end the contract as now there is no use of this collaboration. Wine didn't slept whole night as she was thinking what to do, and thus she came with an idea. I should end this all. Saying this, she took her purse and got some money, which reminded her of how she met Jungkook. Wine was enjoying in club with her friends. Meanwhile, Jungkook was also in the club having a drink to take out his work stress. But his eyes fall on Wine and he fell in love with her in first sight. So Mark, get me the information of that girl. He pointed at Wine. Just half an hour, sir. Saying this, he walked a little far away to contact some other person to get the information of Wine. So here, he gave the file to Jungkook and Jungkook took it and started reading it, and there he got that Wine is the youngest daughter of Mr. Lee, the CEO and founder of Lee Enterprise, but her identity is not yet revealed. Interesting, he said to himself, and then he again looked at Wine's direction just to see her searching something in her bag, and the manager of the club was standing in front of her with crossed arms, and Jungkook predicted that something is wrong, so he walked towards her. forgot my card, she said to herself, but it was loud enough for the manager to hear. But ma'am, you have to pay the bill. If not card, can pay in cash. I don't keep cash with me. She bit her lips, not knowing what to do, and at the exact time, I will pay her bill, he said, after standing next to Wine, gaining her attention, and she got mesmerized by his handsomeness, and she too fell in love at first sight with him. Okay, sir, I will add her bill with yours. Jungkook simply nodded his head and the manager walked away. Thank you, she said, and Jungkook turned to her. Wine smiled. Thank you so much. I will definitely give you back the money. Please give me your account number. I don't want the money, he said, making Wine frown in confusion as what he wants from her. Then what you want? Jungkook shrimp, I want to be your, he said, and Wine to shrimp back as why would she lose an opportunity of having a handsome man, and also she fell in love with him, so she agreed. Wine's phone rang and she came to reality and she noticed the money still in her hand and her eyes were shedding tears, remembering the sweet moments with Jungkook. Wine wiped her tears and pick up her phone to see it's Jungkook calling, so she picked up the call. Jungkook called, baby, are you ready today? I want to take you to some special place, he said, being so happy. But Wine called, Jungkook, I want to say something very important, so I will directly come to your company, she said, making Jungkook confused as Wine called him Jungkook. Jungkook called, is anything wrong, baby? He asked her in a dull voice. Wine sign, it's let's talk at your company, she coldly said and cut the call and started getting ready. Jungkook was walking here and there in nervous as he wasn't having a nice feeling, and soon his office door opened and he looked to see Wine. Baby, you came, I was waiting for you. He approached Wine and was about to hug her, but Wine stopped him. Jungkook frowned, baby, what happened? Let's end our relationship. We started our relationship just because of the small amount of money right here. She took the money from her purse and forwarded it to Jungkook, who was now all numb after hearing Wine. Baby, don't joke like this, he said in a no, Jungkook, I'm serious. Let's end this here. Take this money. No, I don't need your money. And do you think that I kept you with me because I wanted this money? I don't know. And now I don't even want it to know I'm leaving here. She placed the money on table and walked out of the cabin, leaving a heartbroken Jungkook. But Jungkook wasn't willing to give up, so he followed Wine. Is Jungkook in his cabin? She asked the receptionist. Yes, ma'am. Kia just nodded and turned around to go to Jungkook's cabin, but she saw Wine walking out of the company while crying, making Kia's heart ache. Is that Wine? What she's doing here? She asked herself, but the receptionist heard her. Yes, ma'am, she is Mr. John's girlfriend, she said, making Kia's eyes wide open in surprise. But then, I love you, Killy Wine, he shouted, gaining every employee's attention, and Wine stopped on her track and her eyes started shedding more tears because she was craving to listen to these words from Man. But now when he said those words, the things aren't same, and soon Jungkook approached Wine and turned her around just to see her swollen face. Baby, you just can't leave me without any reason. I know you love me. Then suddenly what happened? He asked her, which reminded her of Kia, and she didn't have anything to say, so Wine just walked out of the company. That means it was Wine yesterday, and this all is happening because of me, she said to herself as she understood what just happened between Jungkook and Wine. So she walked to Jungkook, who was about to follow Wine. Jungkook, she called him and he faced her. Kia, today I'm not in the mood of talking about business, so come some other date. Saying this, he turned around to leave behind Wine, but it's about Wine. Jungkook looked at her with confused face and Kia explained everything. I'm sorry, only if I would have known that it's Wine, then I wouldn't have told her about my crush on you, she said while looking down at her feet, being guilty. Jungkook sighed. It's okay. It's not your fault, he simply said as he too doesn't know what to say further. So the manager of the resort arranged everything as you asked for. He came and said, totally being unaware of the situation. Just tell them to cancel it, he coldly said. But sir, what it is? Actually, sir planned to propose Miss Wine today and he asked me to book a spot, so I did it. But now he is saying it to cancel it. He said to Kia and Kia signed, but then she got an idea. So, Jungkook, you should go on with your plan. You should propose Wine today. Are you serious, Kia? In this situation, she will definitely reject me. Kia signed, she loves you. So if she says no to your proposal, just her, she will melt. Kia suggested, making Jungkook somewhere feel like he should go with Kia's plan. After a lot of struggle, Kia succeeded to take Wine out as Wine was crying from the time she left Jungkook's company. Only why are we here? She asked Kia, who took Wine to the place where Jungkook arranged everything. I just wanted to hang out in open place, she said, making Wine just nod her head as indeed she too wanted to come to some calm place to lighten up her mind. Wine and Kia were slowly walking towards the spot, and when they were about to reach the spot, Kia slowly backed off from Wine, and Wine, being totally lost, didn't notice it. But soon she felt someone's hand wrapped around her, making her startle. Only she called her in nervous, but "It's me, baby," he said, and he felt like her muscles relaxed on his touch. "So I love you, Wine," he whispered it in her ears, and "I love you too, Jungkook." But only she thought to tell him the truth, but Jungkook cutted her off. "I know everything," he said, making Wine turn around and face Jungkook. "How Kia told me everything." And thus when Wine's eyes fall on Kia standing beside Mark, and she gave a sweet smile to Wine, making her assure that she is fine. So Wine too gave a small smile to her, and lastly Kia and Mark slowly walk away to give them privacy. "So now will you be mine, Mrs. John?" he asked, making Wine smile with tears in her eyes. "I will, Jungkook." And thus Jungkook put a ring on her finger, and without wasting further, he smashed his lips on her, which she happily accepted. "It was worth waiting all the time," he said, making Wine blush, and he again smashed his lips on her. But while suddenly Kia's face flashed in Wine's mind, "So, God, please give my sister a good man who will love her truly." She internally prayed for her sister. "Finally, my sister is looking so happy," she said while leaning her head on Jungkook's shoulder, whose eyes were fixed on the newly married couple. "Yes, she is, and also Mark is looking more happy," he said while tightly hugging Wine by her, and soon they heard. "So I announced Lee, Kia, and Kim Mark as wife and husband. You both may each other," and thus Mark and Kia happily each other. Kia and Mark fall in love with while working together, and indeed Mark is a perfect man for Kia, as he always keep Kia happy. "So, baby, did you notice the rituals and all?" he asked Wine, and Wine looked up at Jungkook with red cheeks. She just being in shy. "Good then, because next is ours wedding." Saying this, he Wine's forehead, which she loves the most. "I love you, Cook." Jungkook smiled. "I love you more, babe." The end. Thanks for watching. Bye.